What's up guys, Devansh Agarwal here and welcome back to another video. Here we are gonna talk about success. Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to taste the feeling of being successful. You won't find anyone in this world who doesn't want to be successful. The definition of success can be different for different people. Some want health, some desire wealth, or some may need happiness to be called successful. This is also no surprise that though everybody wants to be successful, unfortunately, only a handful of them are able to climb that mountain. So, how to be successful is the million-dollar question. Well, before I tell you that, let me give you the biggest reason for failure in our lives. There are already millions of reasons for failures, but I am gonna tell you the biggest one, and I will also tell you how you can avoid making this mistake. Now before I proceed, there is this slight roadblock between you and me that is gonna try its best to stop you from learning anything new here. Wanna know what it is? Well, it's you only. Your own thoughts and preconceived notions and beliefs are the biggest roadblock that are hindering you from learning anything new. For so long we used to believe that the earth is still and that it is the sun that is rising and setting, only to be proven horribly wrong. The point is that even if what we are seeing and perceiving can be absolutely and totally false, then what are your petty little beliefs in front of it? As long as you hold on to your dear or older beliefs, you may pretend to listen and understand, but you are actually not. One needs to look at something completely unbiasedly in order to understand what it's actually saying. But we are too quick to judge when we hear something new based on our previous belief system. So whatever advice you may get here might sound like utter bullshit to you and completely nonsensical. And of course, you're free to take it behind the barn and shoot it in the face. But all I can ask from you is to read or listen to it with an open mind. So where was I? Oh yeah, the biggest mistake one makes. So the biggest mistake anyone can make is to look at the seeds all day long and pass the judgment that they can never transform into a tree. If you ask a 4-year-old that whether this tiny looking minuscule seed can one day become into a huge, gigantic, fruits bearing tree, then he will straight away yell, "Of course not!" And she isn't entirely wrong about her answer, since she can argue that this seed is so small, while the tree is so enormous. The seed has no fruits or flowers, but the tree out there bears tasty fruits and colorful flowers. The seed has no trunk, branches, or roots emerging out of it, unlike a full-blown tree. But hey, you are not a 4-year-old. But unfortunately, that's what we are doing in life, acting like a 4-year-old. We don't actually realize the simple fact that however immense the tree has become, it was once a teensy tiny, minute seed. Now while every seed has the potential to eventually become a tree, not every seed becomes one. And the number one reason being the lack of fertile soil. You can plant as many seeds as you want in a barren land, but it won't yield any results. The point being, just like that seed, we all have the ability and the potential to grow into something we never thought we would. Never let anyone tell you that you can't grow. And if they do, all you gotta do is laugh, because you will know that they probably are thinking like that 4-year-old. Now that you all are a seed, what is that fertile soil you need, without which, no matter how much water and sunlight you provide, you will never flourish? Our beliefs The thing is, all the 112,000 thoughts are meaningless that you probably have on any given day, which is out of your control. The thing that really matters at the end of the day is what you believe in. And ultimately, you become what you believe. If today you believe that it is very hard to be successful, then tomorrow you will start believing that it is impossible for someone like me to be successful. In reality, nothing is easy or hard. People who believe it is easy become successful, and those who believe that it is super hard fail. As simple as that. Things you feel are hard for you, if you just start believing that it is simple with conviction, then one day it will actually become easy for you. Just like a baby elephant, when tied to a rope in a circus, tries to free herself but is unable to, thinks that she will never be able to break these ropes in her entire life. And that's what happens. Even after growing up, when she has the power to break thousands of such ropes in one single blow, she is still tied to that meager rope because she never tried again. Now, ain't that a shame? There are so many beliefs that have been embedded so deeply into some of our minds that have made the soil infertile. But hey, don't worry, beliefs can be broken pretty easily and new ones can be implanted. So the number one belief is, hard work won't necessarily make you successful. Some people believe that in order to succeed, you need to do a lot of hard work and make a lot of sacrifices. I'm sure most of you reading this strongly believe in it, but I have something to say. If you think what you're doing is hard work, then chances are that you are probably not really enjoying the process, and ultimately, this will never make you successful. Laborers and daily wage workers are the hardest working people, but they are not successful. So this tells us that maybe perhaps hard work is not directly linked to success. Take any successful people in any field. They don't have to work hard. For them, they are actually playing a game where they are working effortlessly. And it is not hard work because they love the game they are playing. They are not even sacrificing anything, though it may look like that they are for the spectators. But in reality, they are actually quitting something good to get something better. And that's not technically a sacrifice. You will never say you worked really hard while playing your favorite sport. You will also never say that you sacrificed anything to watch your favorite movie. Makes sense, right? You savored every moment of it. You relished every last second of it. Even when you get physically tired, your mind was pulling you back into the game. And even if you put in all your mental muscles into cracking a jam you're passionate about, it won't feel like hard work. This is precisely what successful people are doing. They don't take their job as a job where they have to forcefully wake up in the morning and go to work. Their passion and their calling are making them do it in a seamless and effortless manner. They are gliding, flowing into their work. Working for 14-15 hours a day is a cakewalk for them because they are loving and relishing every single second of it. On the other hand, if you make someone do something he's not interested in for 14 hours a day, then that's where he will feel stressed out because he has to work really hard to keep up with it. When your heart, mind, and soul are aligned to do a particular job, then it all becomes like playing your favorite sport. You work hard and get tired only when you don't enjoy the work. When you work on something you truly love, then even the pain will make you happy. Someone rightly said, do what you love and you don't have to work for another day in your life. Take Elon Musk for instance. He works for more than 80 hours a week, but for him, it is not hard work. He lives and practically breathes his work. If someone who has no interest in changing the world is asked to take his job, then it is gonna be a pretty hard working task for him. He would have to force himself to work this hard every waking second of his life, but not Elon. Ask this question to yourself. So now let me ask you a question. If I say that you will get all the money required to fulfill all your desires in life, and in return, you have to quit your job or whatever you do. So will you take the deal? Well, if your answer is yes, then that means you're not really living and loving your work, and ultimately are trying pretty hard to excel. I hate to be the one to tell you this, but the path you are on isn't gonna lead you to success. A person who is really enjoying what he does will never say that his work is a load for him. He won't complain about working overtime. Success won't come to those who hate Mondays and desperately wait for Friday nights. If you can do work without getting paid for it, then you have actually found a true calling. Either start enjoying your work or work what you enjoy doing. Until then, keep looking. Don't settle. I will say it again. If you think you're working too hard, then maybe you need to reconsider if you truly want to be successful. Another belief that is so deeply engraved in our minds is, hey, it's pretty easy to say, but very hard to actually do. This is another belief that has made the soil infertile. Whenever things seem to get hard, or you feel like giving up, or you think it is the end of the world for you, just say these two words as if you truly mean them with conviction. It's simple. Don't say it just because I said so. Say it with some enthusiasm and positive zeal. If you really want to change your underlying circumstances, it isn't gonna change your outer situation, but it will change your inner dynamics, which is all you actually need to go ahead with. Try it and witness the magic happening in yourself. You will feel the real positive vibes. And these vibes are not any Instagram filters. These are the real positive flow of energy that ultimately makes the impossible possible. There is absolutely no downside to this whatsoever. You were gonna quit anyway, so you might as well try this and see whether I'm bullshitting or not. Simply replace the word hard with easy in your dictionaries of life, and then see the magic. If you're unable to wake up in the morning because you think it is hard, just say, it's simple to wake up. Do you think losing weight is hard? Just say, it's easy to lose weight. If you think it's hard to earn money, just say it already. It's simple to earn money. Whatever your problems are, doesn't matter how big or small, just say these two words and see the genie coming out of the bottle. I know this might look childish and stupid for the first few days, but I can guarantee you, if you sincerely and patiently follow this principle, then everything will actually become easy for you. You might still not know what you're gonna solve, how you're gonna solve the problem, but one thing I can assure you, just by saying those words, you will figure it out one way or another. Besides, there isn't any downside to it. So the worst that can happen is that you remain at the same place as you were. And well, there is no upper side as to what you can achieve. Considering the risk-reward ratio, I take the deal in a heartbeat. So continuing our analogy, you have to make your land fertile by shattering the most beloved beliefs that were keeping you from growing. And then you have to keep your land fertile by saying those two words. The land is the most essential part of the crop to grow, so take good care of it in all circumstances. Now that your land is ready, it is time to choose the seeds you want to sow. Most people skip this part. They don't know what kind of tree they want and regret later in life. You won't get a mango tree if you sow the seed of an apple tree. So first, choose your seeds. Discover what it is you want. Find your desires. Now some people will say that finding your desires is pretty hard, but no, it is easy. Discovering what you want is simple too. So how will you discover them? Well, simple. Just observe what you enjoy doing. Whatever is coming from within you is your true calling. And all that is coming from the outside is temporary or fake. And if you move ahead with the fake desires, then that will be a bit problematic. Desires have enormous powers. It has a power that is beyond our thinking. Let me show you how. Look around yourself and make a list of all the items or tools you see that are not natural made. Your PC, your mobile, your desk, chair, AC, fan, bottle, pen, remote, earphones, glue, bed, beanbag, shoes, slippers, carpet, pillow, eraser, scale, cup, and 112 other things. Everything from a needle to an airplane was once somebody's desire, which has ultimately grown big. Just like a seed, which has converted into a giant, massive tree. In other words, some desires become big, some don't. Now you have to decide whether to let your desire grow into a tree or to let it remain what it was, a seed. The bigger your desire, the bigger your success. Once you discover your seeds, the next step is to take action. Most people either take action without discovering what they really like, or don't take action at all after discovering what they love. Once you got the right seeds you want, you gotta sow them to let them turn into a full-blown tree. Now remember one thing while taking action. If you guys have ever done bungee jumping, then the trainer there always say one thing: don't look down. This makes the task easy, and what you may not realize is that this simple phrase can be applied everywhere in life. Once you stand on that ramp and keep on looking down, then you will never make that jump because you will keep on thinking, what if the worst happens? And this is what happens to almost all of us when it comes to making a major decision. Too often we start looking down and take a step back. Every person goes through this phase as well, but the difference between the successful and the unsuccessful is that successful people don't look down. One can't possibly make the jump if he keeps on looking down. This is a very scary phase, also known as the paralysis of analysis. You gotta break this state in order to make the jump. More than 90% of people fail because they never took the action when they had the chance and kept on imagining the worst outcome. Someone rightly said, "I don't regret the thing I did, I regret the things I didn't do." Regret is the kind of poison that will eat you alive, and you will become a walking coffin of your own dead soul. You don't want to go through that now, do you? So never step back from taking action. And besides, they don't have to be some big ass actions. Take baby steps. Even a small step is infinite times better than not taking that first step at all. And at last, share your success. If you want to engulf all the fruits the tree is bearing, then either the fruit will rot because there will be so many of them for a single person to engulf all at once, or you will die eating them. So if you want to keep on laughing, share your laugh. Want to be happy? Share happiness. If you want to be rich, then yes, share money. You can't do everything on your own. Look at any big company. Did the CEO do all the work? No, it was a team effort. And why would anyone help you if you don't think about helping them first? How can one expect to earn respect without giving respect first? Think about it yourself. Would you rather join a company that doesn't care about you or actually gives a shit about you? So if we want to join the latter company, then why, when it comes to us, we behave like the boss of the former company? Everyone wants to get connected to someone who wholeheartedly believes in the concept of sharing. And at last, even after doing exactly what I told you, making your land fertile, sowing the right kind of seeds, taking the required action, and even sharing whatever you can, there are no guarantees that you're gonna be successful. Nobody knows what the future holds. And that's the fun in it. You can't control the outcome, but what you can always control is your reaction to situations. It's totally up to you how much perseverance, dedication, and passion you are gonna inject into your work. Ultimately, the goal should be to enjoy the ride instead of focusing on the destination. If you're living each and every moment of whatever it is you do, then you already are successful. Period. There are so many people who may look successful in the eyes of the world, but deep within, they feel empty because they are not able to do what they actually want to do. So if you feel alive by doing your work, you are successful. If you feel your heart pumping, you are successful. If you know what you're doing and are in love with it, then you are successful, ladies and gentlemen. Success is nothing but a pile of good experiences combined together. And good experiences are nothing but a bigger pile of bad experiences combined together. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you next week.